to what you've been up to, Brian, here. And I know you've been on a hiatus the last couple of weeks, but you've been really testing a few things in the background while that's been going on, and it seems that everything's working. So I received a really cool link from you yesterday, I think it was, that basically said stick this into your app, and your users will be able to send Lightning donations directly to ThreeSpeak videos. So that to me is super cool, and I know we haven't got it integrated directly yet, but the tech is there and available. So yeah, thanks for that, Brian, and tell us a little bit about it, please.
Yeah, well, I set myself a goal of being able to go away for 2 weeks and have everything that I was doing just work. And that kind of almost happened. I went away for 2 weeks. I had my laptop. I had a cell phone connection even when we were out on the water. I had VPNs and all this kind of shit, but I just didn't need to do anything. And everything worked. People changed Lightning into Hive and Hive into Lightning. And it kind of just worked. It all just worked until, like, I think it was the Thursday of last week when, Bitcoin collapsed, the whole USDT thing collapsed. And what happened was I started seeing that there were some transactions that were failing. And I kind of remembered back into my code that I'd put one of those. I've always, I've been nervous about this because I'm basically running a kind of mini exchange, and I'm doing it in a bit of a haphazard fashion to start with. So I set myself, I set like some emergency brakes. Like if I got a very bad rate from CoinGecko, I was like, okay, no, I don't trust that. That sounds weird. And all the time I've been building this thing, Hive's been up around 70, 80, 90, over $1. So I think I set a break of 40 cents. If I got back an answer saying the Hive was less than 40 cents, put the brakes on, stop everything. And of course, just my luck, while I'm out of the country, Hive drops below 40 cents momentarily and things go wrong. So, but, at least I know why it happened. And I was able to just pause everything for a day or so. And I got back and I fixed it. So it's working. People have been able to change Hive to Lightning and Lightning to Hive. But the bit that I added, and I added this I added this in my head while I was away because I realized I could do it, is this thing where you can just have a static QR code or an address, and it looks like an email address actually, and the Lightning apps are starting to do this. So it's your Hive name at v4v.app. That's it. That's your Lightning address, whatever your Hive name is, at v4v.app. And this is so brilliant because Hive names, we can all type our own Hive name. We do not have to copy paste them. We know how to type our own Hive names. They're real. And this just looks like an email address. And you can put that into Lightning apps, or you can snap this QR code and you can send between 1,000 and 100,000 sats. And it comes through as Hive within, it takes about 10 seconds. And I'm very pleased that I got that working quite quickly, comparatively quickly. But it was only quick because I built all this other stuff underneath. And and now I think, I've got a new proposal out, which is to carry on the work for the next 6 months, because the big bulk of what I want to do is I don't want to be the only one that's running this. This is it's absolutely clear in my mind. This works when I can enroll a few other people. It's not going to be, it's not going to be tens or hundreds. It'll only be 2 or 3 to start with. But then as it grows, I'll get more people who run these services on an ad hoc basis, and we start to be, in this wider Lightning community. And the reason I like Lightning is because it's like what Dan says, they're going to build all this open source tech, and Lightning is generally pretty much all open source. And then we're going to nick it because VC is flowing like bloody crazy into Lightning, and it's setting up the on ramps and the off ramps because they think it's safe because it's $10 here and $20 there and it's $50. And I see it as a massive Trojan horse, because that's actually what we want. most of us don't want to move thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. We want to get $50 worth of Hive in or out. We want to buy a pizza with our Hive. And Lightning is the way we're going to do that. Lightning is going to be so key to that. Because already you can go on Bitrefill and get Amazon vouchers, and I've got to write a blog post about this. Someone sent me a message from Australia. They bought food from Uber Eats for $26 with Hive via Lightning.
Oh yes, nice.
Yeah, that's very good.
The other side I want to see of that as well, from our point of view as a content network, on the Speak network and on 3Speak the app.
Yep.
We just can't wait for people to have the donate Lightning button and just make a big noise about that, because it's like we want Bitcoiners, we want crypto people to watch that content and then be able to donate freely to them straight to their Hive account. So all these people won't have to have accounts in Square or any of these other Lightning apps. They'll just be able to have a Hive account and always be able to still receive Lightning donations, which I think is incredibly powerful.
And the thing is, to receive Lightning is still complicated. You either receive it into an account that's custodial on somebody else's servers, non-custodial, that Stripe or Strike or whatever they're called, or Block or whatever. That's where you receive it, but you didn't really receive it until you withdraw it, because we all know crypto on exchanges is not your crypto. It can disappear at a moment's notice. They can ban your account. They can ask you for more KYC. Bittrex did that to me the other day, and I KYC'd and then moved everything off there, and I'm done with Bittrex. It's over. Game over. Bye bye. This is the point. But yeah. Hive is your own. It's your keys. As soon as I transfer the Hive, I receive Lightning. I do the transfer in like 8 seconds, and it's gone. I cannot get it back. I can't take it back from you. Once I've sent it to you, it's yours.
Yeah. Well, one of the things here is, if you're running, for example, an Anon Hive account and you're creating great content and people want to donate to you, nothing can stop them now. Initially it goes through your Lightning node, but as you just said,
I'm going to decentralize that.
Right. And
I'm going to make
I'm sure there's going to be people from the Speak network who are going to be interested in helping you do that and helping you run nodes.
Look, it's not the world's easiest thing at the moment to do. I've got to package it up nicely, and you'll still have to have all the skills necessary to run a Lightning node, which is more complicated than it should be. But other people will be able to do this. We'll get 2, we'll get 3, we'll get 6, and once we've got that little stable of them, and we'll have Hive in the middle doing the mediating. So it's like you won't even know who's going to process your transaction, and you won't care, because you're going to send $10 worth of Lightning and it'll get into Hive, and you don't care which node serviced you. Just like we don't care which witness, approves a block.
Could this become something where we can incentivize it with the Speak network, and maybe even possibly a delegated proof of stake sort of setup where we could actually vote in nodes for Lightning and get them paid if they're in the top 20?
Well, this is the thing. At the moment, I am taking a tiny cut, but I'm really just breaking even, because I have to, in the end, if it's out of balance, I have to go and trade some Hive for Bitcoin, or the other way around.
We could have both, actually. I think both would be good.
We could have a small fee that goes to the person who performs the transaction, but then if it can be supplemented so that running this node is more of a public good, that then becomes incredibly powerful, because then you don't have to make the money on the fees. And look, I've got funds at risk. That's the big point, because I've got I don't know how many, a few $1,000s worth of Bitcoin tied up on a node as my liquidity, and I've got Hive tied up here and there, and it's that's at-risk money. If I fuck up, if my code goes wrong, I could lose a few hundred Hive or a few $100 worth of Bitcoin. That's the risk I take. That's fine, and I'm compensated for it because the DHF is paying me, which is great. But yeah, going forward, I think this marriage of the models, where it's not just the pure economic activity, but it's also the community recognizing the value of this service and being stakeholders in the service, even if they're not using it all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I
But
think they should be more public goods. These nodes should be. I always say slap depots on it, and like people like are we like, oh, let's scientific this, let's do all this crazy code there, and Matt and I are like, just duct tape, slap depots on it, eliminates all the need for all that craziness. If
Well,
somebody's messing up, they'll just get voted out.
yep.
certainly that's exactly, because the fact that I limit these transactions to about $40 at the moment. I mean, it's come down because Bitcoin's dropped so much. The fact that I limit it to those small transactions, and look, my reputation hangs on this thing performing. If it breaks and I don't fix a problem quickly, everybody will know about it because somebody will write a post on Hive and I'll get crucified. My reputation will drop. Everybody will unvote my proposals, and that's it. It'll be game over for me. So there's no incentive for me to steal $40 from someone. It would be the most insane thing on earth. My Hive reputation, Taskmaster's pointed this out in blog posts, I think. My Hive reputation is worth much more even than the value of the
$45.
Hive.
45.
Yeah, no, but it's worth $100,000 to me. My
Sure,
reputation is
sure.
worth $200,000 for me. I'm not going to diddle someone out of $15. It's ridiculous, And I think
Exactly.
anybody that I onboard to run one of these services will be in that league. There'll be somebody known. I don't need to know their real name. I don't need to know where they are or what I don't care.
Just a reputable account on Hive.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
have to be known on Hive.
But by the way, I just want to make a couple of points here. The first thing is this is a good point about Hive in general. There are so many accounts on Hive that people know are real people, they're reputable, but they're not. Their IDs aren't known. That is so valuable in this new world that we're going into. So valuable.
Yeah, with that history, there's dozens of people I interact with on a daily basis. I haven't got a freaking clue what their real identity is, and I just don't care. I've never seen a photo of them. I mean, I think maybe some of them went to, maybe hopefully I'll go to a proper meetup this year, because I joined Hive after the last Steam Fest. There hasn't been an in-person one since I've been here, so I'm really, hopefully I'll be able to go to whatever gets organized at the end of this summer.